Hello, this is CK7 again with another commentary for Disney Heroes vs. Villains. This time on round 7. Sorry if it's been a while since my last commentary. It's just I've been busy with school and all that, and therefore. And sometimes I like to do my commentaries after History Buff 5341 does his commentaries. So maybe I could point out some stuff that he may have not mentioned in the rounds. But since he hasn't yet done a commentary on this, I might as well go ahead and do my commentary on it and see what I have to say about it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We start off with Queen Grimhild trying to forge an alliance with the Horned King, but he and his forces just reject the offer, making her pretty ticked. Elsewhere, Maleficent, I guess, sends Hades and Jafar to go on a mission for them to go on together, even though these two never get along. And that's the weird thing I've noticed. It's like in... sorry. It's like in every other series, like in Disney Villain War, Hades and Jafar never seem to get along that much. I mean, I never know why, exactly. They just get on each other's nerves. And of course, the Queen plans to get some revenge on the Horned King, I guess. And of course, we have Shan Yu and Dr. Facilier. And Facilier sends Lawrence, disguised as Prince Naveen, to go join up with some heroes, I guess, and part of their evil plan, I guess. And Merlin goes out to goes on a mission of his own, but tells the others that they should stay at the cottage where they'll be safe, as their prime targets to Maleficent and the other villains. Yeah, I just love this little bit right here where they just all thought that Merlin's just being a jerk and all. Of course, we have the Horned King and Sykes again. And Morgana. Who knows what they're planning. And Lady Tremaine. And by the way, I noticed that you're using that scene from Lady Tremaine. That scene from Lady Tremaine, if I recall, is from the second Cinderella film, which I'm surprised finally someone's using footage from that movie. And then we have Jafar and Hades. I'm sorry, that part I thought was just hilarious with Jafar and Hades. And I noticed that scene is from that episode of Hercules, Hercules in the Arabian Night, I think is what it was called, of Hades and Jafar together and all. Yeah, that was a funny soundbite. Okay, now we get to the actual fight with Hercules versus Gaston. Interesting choice of music, I'll have to say. And Gaston spots Meg and tries to flirt with her, I guess, who is not that interested. But then she spots Hercules and decides to forge alliance with him. And Gaston challenges Hercules, of course. One question I'm wondering, did Gaston just forget about Belle? Because, I mean, she's still hostage to the evil queen. Does he even know that? I mean, it just seems out of character for Gaston to be hitting on a different girl other than Belle. I mean, yeah. And I will say, this was pretty funny, but it's kind of sloppy a little. The way Hercules just headbutted Gaston like that, but it's understandable. This fight must have been really hard to conjure up. Still a good fight. And I guess we have a rivalry between Herc and Gaston. Alright, now we have Lilo and Stitch versus Warp Dark Matter and Emperor Zurg. Again with the ice cream guy. That guy will never get his ice cream, I guess. I'm guessing that scene is from the television series of Buzz Lightyear's Star Command. Not much to say about this fight other than it was very well edited. And Stitch comes to the rescue. This part I think I liked about the fight, the way Stitch can just grab the little fireballs and just throws them back at Dark Matter. That was just so awesome. And the same with the Hornets. But unfortunately, Lilo and Stitch get captured. Now we have Madame Medusa versus Prince Naveen. When I first heard you were doing this fight, I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to work. I mean, also, how is it that Medusa can handle with Tiana being a frog and all, but then she gets freaked out by Naveen? And also, why is she afraid of frogs? I mean, because, I know she's afraid of mice and all, but frogs, that's, I don't know. And of course, we have Lewis and Ray. I just find it funny, because we have Lewis against Brutus and Nero, the Medusa's two crocodiles. Two crocodiles versus an alligator. Oh, this part's just funny, with Naveen just hopping around like that. Don't mess with Ray, is all I have to say. And they get away. Yeah, it's about time we saw the heroes from The Princess and the Frog. I'll have to say that. Now we have Merlin versus Jafar and Hades. Arthur is still worried. Everyone is still worried about Merlin, so Archimedes suggests that Genie turns Arthur into a bird and flies with him to make sure Merlin will be okay. I'm just wondering, what does Ariel think of her allies exactly? I don't know. So yeah, I was actually hoping you would do a fight like this exactly, because Merlin, the most magnificent magician, fighting against Jafar and Hades. Love that bit right there. And this right here. Merlin just frees the god of the underworld. Oh, come on, Jafar. Is that the best you got? Just mess up his hairdo? I mean, I don't know. This is pretty well edited, too, right here. With the fire and all. You know what you should have done is have Hades, when he just explodes like that in anger, that with all the trees get down, and then Archimedes and Arthur just duck like that. That would have been hilarious. Although, that is what they just did, I guess. So, yeah, screw what I just said. And I guess Merlin's now a genie. That's just great. Now we have Clayton versus the Beast. McLeach sends Clayton out to capture the Beast, who is in the area. And of course we have Beast, Mulan, and Quasimodo. And then Clayton. Not much else to say, except for this part right here, where Ratcliffe just pops out of nowhere and decides to help Clayton out. But then McLeach crashes through the party. And this is where things get really epic. Now we have a villain fight going on here between Ratcliffe and McLeach. And they find out that Clayton is working on both sides. Ooh, Clayton's busted. Yep, like what Mushu just said. Oh, you're getting it now, Clayton. Alright, now we have Aladdin versus the Sheriff of Nottingham. Good fights. And not much really to say about this exactly, other than it was well edited. I think it was. I don't know, I've only seen this round once, so I don't remember much of it exactly. And we have Esmeralda watching the fight from a distance. You know, the Sheriff of Nottingham, he doesn't really get that much fight time, exactly. I mean, like, he hasn't had a fight yet in Disney versus non-Disney villains, which I'm surprised. At least not yet. And Aladdin just escapes. Oh, come on, Sheriff, you're just gonna quit that easily? And then the two meet, and they ally with each other, decide to join forces. Which makes sense, because they're both outcasts and they're tricksters, so yeah. Now we have Kuzco and Pacha versus Shenzi, Benzi, and Ed, the three hyenas. When I first heard you were doing this fight, I was actually excited, because, I mean, it does make sense, and it's about time we saw Kuzco and Pacha, since we've already seen Yzma and Kronk. Wait, have we seen Kronk? I don't remember. And this is probably the most hilarious fight in this round right here, mainly because of the sound bites you use in a little bit. And I noticed you're using scenes of the hyenas from The Lion King 1.5. Which makes sense. And again, just like with the Sheriff of Nottingham, I'm surprised Manuel and Woman have not given the hyenas their own fight. At least not yet. And I noticed you still have the little jaguars in the screen. Not much you can do about it, though. You were saying, Pacha? Bye-bye! I just love that bit right there. The Emperor's New Groove is another one of my favorite Disney films because it was just so hilarious. And the final fight, okay. All I have to say about this fight, when I first heard it was going to happen, I was totally flipped out. I mean, not really in a bad way, but the thing is, okay. Prince John basically hires Breer Fox and Breer Bear to find some more prisoners to fill up his prison. And their destination? The 100-Acre Wood, home to Pooh and Friends. That's right, it's Winnie the Pooh and Friends versus Breer Fox and Breer Bear. So yeah, when I first heard you were doing this spot, I wasn't sure how to react, because I mean, the thing is, I mean, with Bambi and Dumbo, yeah, they're Bambi and Dumbo, but yeah, you found a way to use them. But this is Winnie the Pooh and all. I was definitely not sure how you're going to use them. But then when you showed their opponents, Breer Fox and Breer Bear, it makes perfect sense to have them fight them. I'm just wondering, though, are we going to see more of Winnie the Pooh and them? Because, oh, okay, I'm not a fan of them or anything, but I did watch some when I was a kid. But the thing is, they have so much footage because they're in so many movies and they had a television show, so yeah. Well, I think this is funny with the conversation between Winnie the Pooh and Breer Bear. Of course, this ticks off Breer Fox a little because it's, you know, sort of out of the conversation. They're supposed to capture them, not be friends with them. And this is how it was well edited, because even though I've never seen Song of the South, I do remember the clip where the hive falls on top of Brer Fox, like that, for example. Anyway, back to what I was saying, though, about Pooh and them being in the series. I'm just wondering, like, who will they ally with exactly? Like, I'm guessing maybe they could ally with the mice, maybe? Or maybe they can ally with Bambi and the Sprite. That's one idea I thought of. I don't know. And I'm just wondering, what footage are you using? Like, this, I'm assuming the scene right here is from one of the newer Winnie the Pooh movies. Like, maybe the new one that just came out. Now for the epilogue, where Hades and Jafar hand over the lamp to Maleficent, just like what happened in Disney villains versus non-Disney villains. And of course we have Yzma, Madame Mim, Abismal, and Odin. Merlin and Archimedes tell Genie and Ariel what happened to Merlin, and they suggest it's time to go under the sea to go rescue Merlin, I guess. So yeah, Ariel's now back to being a mermaid. And now Arthur is a fish. I kind of saw that coming. And of course Clayton is still busted, but McLeach and Ratcliffe decide to ally for now. And then we have the crows from Dumbo, and Jiminy Cricket. It's about time we saw Jiminy Cricket, because I mean he's like a very iconic Disney character. And he and the crows ally to find Pinocchio, who is joined up with Honest John and Gideon. And of course we have Buzz Lightyear, and XR and Booster, and Mariel, and Amelia, and then there's Ben, and Dr. Doppler, and Jumba and Pleakley, all allying with each other, which I think that's a pretty awesome alliance. And Pacha and Cusco survive their fall, and ally with Naveen and Tiana and Ray and Lewis, which I think is perfect. And Aladdin's forces join up with Hercules and Esmeralda and all them. And there's Ichabod Crane. Where did he come from? And Ratty and Molly, that's their names. Ratty and Molly and Phil are suspicious about Prince Naveen, who, unknown to them, is really Lawrence in disguise, sent by Dr. Facilier, who apparently has a sinister plan. So yeah, this was a very awesome round, I'll have to say. Some very unexpected surprises, but with some suspected surprises at the same time. So yeah, I'm very looking forward to see what we have upcoming later on in the future. So yeah, this is Siki Primal 7, and have a nice day.